Running a Fever, Episode 21, A Light in the Darkness.
Just leaving my house, and you know, we didn't have a celebration at the real milestone, which probably would have been episode 20. It's a nice round number, so let's celebrate today. Yay! 20 episodes is a lot, and all of them workout episodes except for the one that came before this one, which, as you know, was my trip to the running store, which actually turned out to be, I'm sure I'll, if I didn't, during the actual recording, I don't think I actually knew. I was intending to go to a different store, but the one I went to was called Rush Running, and it's on College Avenue in Fayetteville, Arkansas. And I also didn't know the salesperson's name, and her name is Heather, and she was very helpful, very knowledgeable in what she was doing, and I learned some things from this experience. As you can probably hear, hopefully the audio was good enough, but that was my first bonus episode, and now we're back into running episodes. But I just left the house, and my headlights are on, and I left the lights on at my house because I know when I get home it's going to be dark, because it's almost dark now. I intentionally left a little early, although in hindsight, it might have been better if I'd, just to be safe, gone out a little bit earlier, and I would have had a little bit of darkness. But I feel safe because I did pick up a headlamp today, and I'm going to see how that works. Got it on pretty tight now, and I don't know if I can loosen it up a bit or not. But hopefully it'll work. Otherwise, it's going to be pretty dark out there. But to give it a good test, I think we're going to go to the marina and start from there, like we did one other time, because that's going to be a pretty dark run. So I'm starting to think of all the potential problems now that I'm actually doing this. I'm not sure if I'll be able to see the signs in the road to know where I am and how far I've gone, because now distance is everything. I judge my run distance, based on the markers, and I judge my entire walk distance based on the markers. And I've been making progress and keeping that all together. A little concerned about that. We'll see how it goes. Here we are. It's definitely darker than any time I've ever started this workout. Just had to finish my pre-run hydration there. New Shoes. New Shoes was the name of a singing group, I don't know, 20 years ago or something. Probably more than that. No clouds, but I don't see the moon or anything. This headlamp is giving me about the same visibility as headlights do on a car. It has two modes. It's got kind of one that's probably just to make the wearer visible, and the other provides some pretty good visibility for a few yards in front of me. Now I know that I start at the 0.5 mile point back there. I'll know when I get to a quarter mile, because that's even part of my run when I come from the other location. Beyond that, I really don't know. Just have to take that as it comes. But I got to get warmed up first. New Shoes. So Heather was kind enough they were very friendly at Rush Running. Heather was kind enough to do my gait analysis and put me in this shoe. Right now I don't actually remember what kind of support it provides, but you know, it matched up to whatever the video footage showed. So I'm wearing a brand new pair of Brooks Adrenaline shoes with DNA technology, whatever that is. And they feel pretty good. It's kind of a weird thing, that whole thing about, you know, getting a full size larger than my normal shoe size. They feel fine. I laced them up with those additional eyelets that are a little further back toward the ankle, and so far they're fitting fine. We'll see how we do on the run. I'm just walking now. Of course, gave me some other tips. You know, like standing and sitting, keeping my feet parallel, pointing straight ahead. Apparently it's too much to worry about when I'm actually working out, but if I do that at other times, then it will naturally change. That's something I can change and make my running more efficient. So I'm looking forward to that. Good advice, glad to take it. These shoes feel really good. We'll maybe check the temperature in the car when I get back to it. I knew it was going to be cold. Got to the point where it's pretty much always cold at night and in the morning, but variable by 10 or 20 degrees. It's been a lot colder. I don't think this is one of the coldest days. So we'll see how my breathing goes. I'm fully layered, still not really have enough sets of clothing, but I'll get some more of that. Okay, quarter mile's come and gone. Getting to the other side of the dam, heading into the woods. There was nobody else in the parking lot. I'm assuming this is going to be very quiet out here. Don't really want to make it a habit of intentionally coming out here this late. The light's causing some interesting visual effects because it's cold enough I can see my breath. But I did see that quarter mile marker, so that's a good sign that I'm going to be able to see the markings. I don't know how this thing's going to work when I'm running, but for now, it's just fine. I don't know if you can hear it, but I can hear it coming up on the bridge and the water going by. This spillway, the dam that I really walk across, it's just keeps the water back. There's no gates or anything in it. And here at the end of it, there's a spillway. So, I know, when I say I can see my breath, I don't see it really because it's dark until it comes in front of the light. So it's kind of a spooky thing when that happens. It just kind of lights up this cloud and kind of reflects back on me. Some other things in the air, I'm sure, leaves and whatnot. Over the bridge, so that's nice. I can turn my head and see pretty good distance up ahead. It's got a kind of a wide angle, so if I point my head is at the normal angle that it usually is when I'm walking. I can see right in front of me for a few yards. I can also tilt up a little bit. Okay, so I was at an intersection there. There are two trails here intersecting. The Razorback Greenway and the Lake Fayetteville Trail. staying on the Lake Fayetteville Trail. Razorback Greenway goes for miles and miles through several cities here in the area. Coming up on Veterans Park. It seems like I remember that I was running last time I did this, right around here. One of the problems is not only am I not used to navigating at night, I've only come this way once before. There's a playground. Feel like I should be getting up on that half-mile point, but I don't see the start of the trail. I'm actually on a road right now. It goes through this Veterans Park, and it's also kind of a parking lot. A few cars here. And it looks like a pavilion picnic area, a couple of them, one big one. Last time I was here, I just kind of took my cue from other walkers. It was busier, and they were kind of walking down this way, down the street. Car coming. I like to get completely out of the street when a car comes because it's not marked very well, and there's no sidewalk, and it's not a really wide street either. There's a indicators that it's bike trail, not much else. Just gonna keep on walking. Starting to think this probably wasn't a good idea to not only come this late, but take this way that I'm not very familiar with. Because now, I'm just walking into, oh, there it is. Found the trail finally. All right. Leaving Veterans Park. So, anytime now, I expect to see any distance marker. And I'm pretty sure I'm just going to start running as soon as I see it. The signs are actually very reflective. And they're really easy to see. All right. 5.28. Interesting. I know we're decreasing. So that means I've gone a mile already. So I'm going to go ahead and start running. Need to run half a mile, so about the 4.75, 4.7, whatever I see, 5.25. So if we make it to 4.75, it'll be half a mile. It's best a bike with a headlamp on. Very safe. There's a marker. 514. 494. Can barely walk straight. I wanted to quit so bad. That last quarter mile, you know, I'm running. Once I get to moving forward, you know, I got this tight headband on. And then the light is only directed to right in front of me. So it feels like I got goggles on, like those, you know, diving goggles. They just all one pane of glass all the way across. That's what it looks like. All right. I'll admit, I've been trying to do some math ever since I turned the corner. Honestly, I was just thinking about finding that first marker. So I'm not sure. I'm probably gonna have to actually listen to the file before I'm sure exactly how long I ran. When did I start? I know where I ended at the 4.25 mile marker. I didn't even think that I needed to walk further than that. Just stopped running and turned around. Well, it's going up now. I know it's 5 1/4 to the end of the trail, or so-called, numerically anyway, the beginning of the trail, being a circular loop, or a loop anyway, hardly circular. So, in terms of walking, that gives me half a mile to the 0 point, and 3/4 of a mile to the 5 mile point, which is 1 1/4 miles, then 3/4 of a mile to the, it's a 1, oh man, live math. Where else do you get this? Live math from a non-math major. Should be easy, if I was sitting at my desk with a piece of paper and pencil, and you're probably shouting in your head, if you're still listening. It's this number, it's so easy. There's a mile between 4 and 5. 3/4 of a mile between 5 and 4 1/4. So that's 1 3/4 miles. Right? Right. 3/4 of a mile to the end of the trail. So 1 3/4 miles plus 3/4. That's 2.5 miles. Plus another mile. Another half mile to the 0.5 point, unless I'm miscalculating. That's 3 miles. So we'll see what the wonderful workout watch wizard says. But I think I walked about 3 miles today when I get done. If I get done. So let's make the most of it. Pick up the pace a little bit here. That run's long behind me, just looking forward to the next run. Man, that was hard. Kind of disappointing because the absolute numbers are not really there, But also I think, if I can make it through the winter, running this half mile, the way it feels right now, it's great that I was able to run it. Because I don't think I've been able to in the cold weather. Though it's probably been a little colder than this, I don't know. Maybe it's just because I'm wearing 4 layers of clothing. I don't have my hood up, by the way. I don't know how that would affect the lamp. I tell you, I just kind of keep thinking, don't really want to go back. And I think about it, really don't, if I don't keep pushing, I feel like I'm going back. I know that's what they say, 20 minutes of exercise 3 days a week. The truth is anything's better than nothing. And there's a point of injury. Yeah, and when you get older and get heavier weight, that's harder. And maybe I need to put more effort into my dieting program. Nothing I can do about the aging program. That's up to God. Maybe the new models that are coming out last longer. I don't know how long I'm gonna last. Just trying to make the most of it and trying to live as long as I can because I love life. I know it's dust flying in the rays of the headlamp. It looks like snow. And it's definitely not cold or wet enough to be snow. But there's a breeze behind me, and I think it's just blowing dust over my head. It's kind of warm. I can't really take off my hat without taking off the lamp. That's another thing. I don't know how it's going to work when I'm not wearing a hat. I'll need some kind of headband or something. I doubt it, though. It's probably made for that. Yeah, 3 miles. That's what I think. Kind of interesting, this trail going through the parking lot and everything. It's right by the spillway. I'm not sure why. I couldn't have done it another way. This is how it is. I didn't build it. I didn't design it. Shoes, I mean, I'm not noticing these shoes, which I think is a good sign. You know, I mean, I really didn't think about them. Got out here on the trail, said, oh yeah, I got my new shoes. Haven't thought about them since. Right, it feels a little bit loose. It's probably just because I didn't tie it as tight. My right foot's bigger than my left, and these shoes are the same size. And I really don't have the energy to walk much faster. I wish I did. Maybe because it's so late, or I don't know. I did some running in the shoe shop today. Not enough to take too much of my energy, but I also did a bunch of running around today. I don't like shopping, and unfortunately just some things I had to get. So I did it all at once. So I'm in Veterans Park now. It's a building for restrooms and a pavilion with looks like 15 or 20 picnic tables. Now, I've talked about my sort of nerve pain in my back. Really had a lot of pain last night, actually. Not debilitating, but pretty bad. You know, they always ask you a scale of 10. So, I mean, it was definitely 7 last night, which is high enough to do something about it. You know, I hope it doesn't stay that way. I know I need to strengthen my back, my core, as they call it these days. And these cars are going really slow and forcing me off the road, but they won't go by. So I'm going through the leaves, and it's making a lot of noise. Yeah, so that's what sort of cured me last time. I mean, I got to where I was taking some pain medication on a regular basis, but man, I started chopping wood on an almost weekly basis, and man, I did it. Strengthened my back up a little bit. So I need to probably start doing that, maybe. Doing some sit-ups. Not easy when you're as fat as I am, but heck, nothing is, you know. Nothing is the price I pay for all those years of eating a lot and not exercising much. I want to bring those days to a close, bring my difficulties to a close. Need to take some action. That's what I'm doing right now. Anyway, the pain hits me when I'm standing up for a long time and probably walking for a long time. Maybe running shook things up a little bit. A lot of noise in the bushes right now. Definitely not a squirrel. Probably a stray dog. Yeah, I'm walking pretty slow here. And this section of the trail has got more inclines to it, more changes in altitude. There's actually a warning here for speeding bikes. Either warning them that there's a big hill, as if they couldn't tell, or warning everybody else there's going to be a juggernaut of a bike coming down. I think it actually says slow. Yeah, it says slow. Use those brakes. All right, so we're 0.09, just about at the, this is loop 5.25 miles. This is is interesting because on the other side of the park it says 5.75 miles. Very interesting. Maybe it stops and then starts again, but still doesn't make sense. I don't know where I'd find out. Seems to be a discrepancy there. And despite the fact that we're in an urban area, the sky is very clear tonight. Lots of stars up there. Still, feel better having the headlamp on. Definitely feel better, more safer. Still not enough though. I need to get some more reflective gear because the rest of me is pretty much dark. Got some white lettering on the front of my sweatshirt, but that's about it. The shoes, I don't know. They don't look like they're really reflecting a whole lot right now, but maybe if I saw them from a different angle. My back is pretty sore right now. Probably part of what's slowing me down. I just kind of feel like I bend over a lot. It's probably because of the weight, distribution. Took some Advil actually before I came out on the trail tonight. Taking some more, about 9 o'clock probably. And I can see the lake. Back in familiar territory, coming out of the woods onto the dam. 0.23. I don't know. There's a mystery. And this sign is 5.25 miles. Have I been mistaken all this time? Well, if that's the truth, then I really only went 2.5 miles. Quarter-mile marker. Shoes did fine. I'm feeling a little bit in my leg. It's more because of my back, I think, than the pain kind of goes down my leg. But like I said, when I was running, I didn't really notice them. Yeah, so I only saw 2 or 3 people actually on the trail. But I think I'd prefer to be out during the daytime. I'm actually going to stop here and see if I can get a picture of the stars. I mean, that's the thing. If I'm out here at night, am I really going to be able to get any decent pictures? So I'm going to try it and then I'll stop the recording. And if I don't come back, I'll see you in the car.
You're listening to the Padua Podcasts Network, PaduaMedia.com.